Okay, so we're back to talk about me dating the Cancer woman. So Cancer chicks, right? Um, so yeah, let's get into it. So with Cancer women, right? I'm addicted to their sex. I'm addicted to their sex and their sex appeal, and I don't want to do much of anything else. I know. I don't know how that sounds to you. Yo. It just is what it is. Be like, um, and before we go too deep into that, right? I want to state that Scorpio is Cancer's fifth house. Okay. So, um, it's like their sex appeal is so obvious that it's ridiculous. Like it just pours out of them. And they just reek it. So even if they, have a career, they handle their business, they do this, that, and the third, like it doesn't even fucking matter, man, because they just have this sex appeal about them that says, let's have sex. Like I don't even know how any other way to put it. So when I'm conversing with it, right? Because as a Pisces, my dating house for fifth house is Cancer. So I'm like identifying now. I'm like almost self. It's like self identifying with their sign when they're on their Scorpio shit, because the sign of Scorpio is just a real sexual sign, right? So I'm not even saying that Cancer women are doing this shit on purpose. It just is what it is. When they're dating and they're trying to have fun with their significant other, that fifth house stuff, it comes across Scorpio-ish, Scorpio-ish. So once I get engaging with that energy, I somehow pick up this is what I feel, because I'm feeling my way through, right? So I'm feeling like, okay, I have to have sex with them in order to be able to tap in, because the sign of Scorpio feels more comfortable as far as knowing you when they have sex with you, right? They ruled by the libido, and it's just like, yeah, they know you, but they don't know you until they have sex with you first. So I kind of like get engulfed in that. And I don't know if that's just me being observant and using astrology as a study to get close to these Cancer women, or they just have that magnetic aura to manipulate me into behaving that way. And I'm being real. Like, yeah, it's possible I could be manipulated as well. Anyone can be manipulated. Take stronger techniques in different situations for different people, but it can happen. So perhaps that is what's going on with this, but I'm just keeping it official. Be like, that's how I'm feeling when I'm dating a Cancer woman now. Like I don't want to, like before I used to just be like, feeling my way around, trying to figure out, and just like, nah, man, nah, fuck this. I got something to say. Look at your tits. Like that's another thing I must say. This is another pro for Cancer women. I love their tits, yo. I love their tits. So I know that sounds perverted and childish, but so what? Like I'm dead ass. I don't care if they A cups, B cups. It doesn't even fucking matter. I love your tits. That's the bottom line. Cancer women have great tits. Is they're ruled by the tits. Like that's the body part that rules over Cancer anyway, right? Nurturing and stuff like that. So that brings up another pro. They're very nurturing when it comes to conversation. So I feel like I'm being hugged. I feel like I'm being cuddled. I feel like this person actually fucking cares about me. And that's good. In a world like this, that's good. You know what I mean? At the same time, my still exterior has a challenging time letting that happen organically. I may put up a fight. I may put up some type of defense. But most of the times what I'm doing is really trying to like get naked. You know what I'm saying? And that is becoming an issue sometimes, because Cancer women will say, well, I need something more than this. I need something more than that. And I'm like, what? Like how? Why? Like why? Have you looked in the mirror? Why do I even have to go through any of this right now? You know what I'm saying? So one thing that also turns me on about the Cancer woman, and this is now too, right? Like because okay, Scorpio is a sign that's naturally under a money house, which is the eighth house, right? I'm making some points here. So because Scorpio is the fifth house and dating style of the Cancer woman, um, when it correlates with their sun sign of being a Cancer, which is a money sign as well, then this motivates them to speak about money. This makes them feel some type of sense of urgency for money. And normally, because of my personal preference, I would come across as, money isn't everything. I'll use the study of astrology and say, well, cancers don't know when to quit. They don't know when enough money is enough. They don't know how to sit their asses down and be comfortable with what they got and assess that as a way of being rich, right? They're always worrying and concerned about where the next dollar is coming from. However, in this current time, in this state of I guess you could call it an economy that we're in right now, it makes more sense to me. It makes more sense that they behave this way. And if you've seen the Taurus video, right, I would almost wish that Taurus would behave this way more, because Taurus is also a money sign as well. So it's like the Cancer woman, she gets that shit right now. She's like, yo, what are we going to do? What's our next move to make some coins? I want this coinage. What the fuck are we going to do? Now that shit gets me excited, because not only is she saying what's up with the money, she's saying, what are we going to do about this shit? You understand what I'm saying? Now that shit gets my fucking blood pumping, because at least, and I don't advise any guy dating a Cancer woman to come up with the idea on the spot. What you can do, even if you got a great idea, just toss it around a little bit, be a little watery about it. You know what I mean? Don't be so concrete and direct with it. Just kind of like toss it around and give them the ability to decide on their own, but just plant the seed, you know what I'm saying? And just back off and let that shit marinate. You know what I'm saying? Because this woman is in her thoughts heavily about making money right now. So again, that's a pro for me. Especially with my dating sign being in the sign of Cancer. So we could reflect on me a little bit as well, as Pisces having Cancer as a dating sign. It's a money driven sign. So you can understand even more of why I come across the way I come across, as, when I'm with my chicks, like, yo, what we doing about this money situation? You understand? Because Cancer sign, the sign of Cancer is an aggregate sign. It's together, we, the family. We don't have to even be married or whatever the case may be. But if it's you and I, we already starting a family. God damn it, you understand? All we need is a couple of more chicks in here, and we really got a motherfucking family. All right, I'm going off a little bit on a tangent, but you get where I'm coming from, right? My point is, we're moving together to make some money, and that shit gets me excited. That's a pro for me dating the Cancer woman, especially at this time. Now, let me see. I love her tits. I said that already. They understand alone time. So all of the hoopla about Cancers are clingy and they don't know how to let go, and I think that's bullshit. From my experiences, at least currently, I've been able to be let go of. Like, there's no keeping tabs on me like that, like, oh, I can't spend my day without you and shit like that. Like, nah, I don't see that. As long as they're staying busy, I don't see that. And the Cancer women I'm dating, they're busy. They're doing shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, but when they are alone, or when they have downtime, they're alone. You understand what I'm saying? So they understand alone time, because like water signs, they need to recharge their batteries. They need to isolate a bit, like, yo, get up off me so I can get my emotions right and intact. I don't wanna spaz on you type shit. You know what I'm saying? So to me, they get that, and that's a pro to me. However, let's slide into the cons a little bit based off of what I just explained, right? Ironically, they know how to manipulate, or they're trying to manipulate, should I say. They're trying to manipulate me into conversing on a later note. So although I'm let go of without no debate, no problems, no issues, no concerns, whenever I'm free to go, like, okay, I had enough today, I'm hanging up, bye, or whatever, that's my last text, later, talk to you next time, right? Like, if Cancer women expect you to read their minds, yo. They want you to read their minds, because we're psychic, and pop up on them and start a new conversation without them coming to you. And, I guess you could say I be playing my hard to get shit, or whatever the case may be. But my thing is just this, like, right? To be manipulated into doing it rubs me the wrong way. So that shit irritates me. So, okay, if I'm taking too long to get back to you, then cool. Say that, though. You know what I'm saying? Express that. You can express that to me, and I won't curl up and act funny towards you. You know what I'm saying? Just let me know. But when you manipulate the situation, and I guess I could give a small example, like just pop in like an inbox. I'm using social media a lot these days because a lot of this dating takes place online for me. So like, hitting your inbox and saying something that is triggerish, right? And it depends on who the individual is, right? Now, Cancer women will think that they have me pegged because I'm a Pisces, I think, and they think like I'm very emotional. So they'll say something like, "Oh, that's because you're very emotional," or they'll say something else like, "Oh, that's because just something that they try to describe you as a definite." And I know myself. I don't have no problem admitting if I'm overly emotional, whatever the case may be, but I'm not. So I'm just reading this and then I start reading into it, and I'm like, either they're reading too much astrology books, they're listening to too much tarot, they think they know what a Pisces is all about, but they're ignoring like y'all warned me about with the prior videos, right? People have different ascendants, different moons, and that can color a person's individuality, right? So this manipulation tactic with Cancer women gets me irritated because it's not true. It's not the truth. I'm not overly emotional. I'm not. In fact, I'd rather logic over emotions. I got a Virgo moon and I'm a Virgo ascendant. You understand what I'm saying? So although I'm a Pisces and Pisces have deep emotions, even Pisces who don't have the same ascendant and moon signs as I am, it takes more to get to the deeper root of a Pisces. Like a Pisces has to use drugs in order for you to really know that they're emotional and stuff like that. Like it's not as simple as you talk shit to a Scorpio, they write back at you like, fuck you said. You understand what I'm saying? The Pisces is just not snappy emotional like that. Cancer does the same thing. If you rub them the wrong way, they be like, wait, what? You know what I'm saying? They switch moods, drop of a hat. Pisces is not the same way. We may have them and hold them, but we holding them. You understand what I'm saying? So to manipulate a situation, like maybe sending me a meme or saying something that is not productive to our relationship that we just had, it's more like anti-relationship, like you haven't done this lately type shit is what I'm getting at. And it's like, oh, word? So you trying to manipulate a situation to make us be toxic right now. And I pick up on that and I'm like, that's distasteful. So I'm just letting y'all know right now, Cancer women, that's distasteful. You starting this toxic shit. All right. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, and I am guilty of this. I do act sometimes like I really, really am emotional and care like about what you're doing, where you're at and shit like that. And I'm not going to say I'm at fault, but I do this. And sometimes I do that to keep the relationship exciting. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling on myself about that. I do. However, now if that's why I'm being tagged as being emotional or super emotional, I'll eat that. Because I know that's what I'm doing purposely to keep things spicy or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Because in some situations when you're dating, if you don't have that, you lose the relationship. Go figure, right? So if you really want to, and sometimes it's just entertaining and stuff like that. But I'm going too far off. Let me just talk about another con for the Cancer woman before I get out of here. And that's they think that how should I say this? They're substituting being mentally disturbed with being deep. So what I mean by that is like they're saying like, I'm like this, they come up with the mystical stories of, demons and whatever the case may be. I'm just saying demons, but ranging from demons to mermaids and all of this type of stuff. And they're like, because I'm like this, I'm like that. And, chalking it up to their emotional state when it's really they're disturbed. And I don't mean like retarded crazy. I mean like they're mentally disturbed. Something is disturbing them mentally and they're trying to get through it. And they want you to support them in that. And it's just like, nah, you're going through some things and you're like drinking right now. You're kind of drunk and you're going through some shit and you want me to be right there with you in the rut of that. And I can't. And that whole Scorpio being in the fifth house thing takes over because, the moon falls in Scorpio. So that gets intertwined, and it's just like icky to me, and I can't get that deep with you if we're supposed to be having fun.